because we want you to now you are getting into the selection of subjects and starting your first semester of technical material. We wanted you to hear from the industry representative, Mr. Mangala Perera, who has been with us. You have seen him in previous information sessions. What we want you to understand is what the industry is expecting of you. We can academically tell you, okay, study this, study that, but that is not going to get you a job. You need to understand what industry is expecting of you. And there's no better person than Mangala to explain to you what they expect from you, different characteristics that they expect from a guy that they recruit. Like I said many times before, you know, the industry, there are massive amount of vacancies. 40,000-50,000 vacancies, if you really look at it. Industry needs people. And there are people who are with IT degrees who do not have jobs or doing clerical jobs and whatnot. The problem is what the industry is expecting and what these people are offering do not match. They have done a degree somewhere, but they do not have the characteristics that the industry is looking for. And we don't want that to happen to you. That is why we organize this session. So you can hear it from the industry representative itself. Mangala has been the senior vice president of IFS, one of the largest companies in Sri Lanka. Now he's co-founder of his own company. And he has been council of the SLASSCOM and leading the capacity building right along. So I will hand over to Mangala to explain what industry is expecting of our graduates. And this is not a theoretical presentation or theoretical subject where you have to take notes, but understand what they are saying, understand what Mangala is saying, and take action to get ready to go into the industry. If you have the right qualification, right attitude, right mindset, you know, even now they are willing to take you as an intern. But many of you do not have that culture. You know, you have Montessori, your mother or father takes you, then you go to year 1, then you grade 5 scholarship, maybe grade 6 you go to another school, you go do O-level, do A-level, but all that time you are used to listening to a teacher and writing down notes and doing past papers and preparing for an exam. Now this exam is very different. So Mangala will tell you all about it. I urge you, I ask you, I plead you to listen very carefully of what he is saying and understand what you should be doing. It is not just learning theoretical subjects. It is much more than that. Right? All these people, IT graduates who are without job or without the right IT job, they know the theory, they know the programming language, etc. But they don't have the rest of the characteristics. So we don't want that to happen to you. Our target is, we have got about 2,400 students right now in our BSc program, and maybe 40, 50 due to economical reasons, etc. might drop out. But the rest, we want you to be in the industry in a year or 2. And that you can't do without knowing what the industry is expecting of you. So over to you, Mangala.
Thank you, Dr. Mangala Perera. So good morning, everyone. And I really hope that everyone is safe. You know, since the world and the country is going through a tough time, because since we all are, you know, fighting with the virus, but really hope that you and your, you know, the close one, the loved ones are safe. And yes, so as Dr. Mangala Perera said, even though I'm sharing my screen, don't expect a number of slides, just 3 slides with just a picture that I have. Just wanted to, you know, the structure, what I'm going to say, that I use a couple of slides. And this session is, of course, I think Dr. Mangala Perera, during the day that they will go through the counseling sessions with OUSL, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That is to
So
select the subjects and
yes.
yes.
So this session, I will again, I will not go into detailed technical the details that you need to know, but I will basically cover our expectation, what you need to do, and how you should spend your time during the first 2 semesters to make sure that you are eligible and you can beat the competition, when it comes to enter into the industry. Of course, I mean, we from the industry, and as Dr. Mangala Perera said, that I'm actively contributing to the building capacity within Sri Lanka. So if you have been listening to me in previous sessions, probably you have heard that, in the industry, we have a big gap when it comes to number of graduates, IT graduates coming from the institutes. At the same time, if you compare it with the demand we have in the industry, so there's a huge gap. The gap is more than 10,000. But again, I want to emphasize, it doesn't mean that the industry will hire anyone to fill those 10,000, but industry will only hire the right people. So I can give you one good example. The last couple of weeks, we interviewed more than 100 to hire 10 persons. So that is even after filtering the CV. So we have opportunities, but don't take it light. If you do things right, you have really good chance to get into the industry, getting a job. But having vacancies doesn't mean that anyone who is coming with the paper qualification will get the job or the internship. And before moving to that, it's not only technical skills that we are looking for right mindset as well. So basically in the industry, there is a saying, hire for attitude, train for skills as well. So I think when it comes to the number of things that we do, of course, you need to have some skills, and also when it comes to industry, we also know, like, when we hire an undergraduate and when we hire a fresh graduate and when we hire someone with 3-4 years experience in the industry, so we know what to expect. We are not unfair when it comes to the things that we expect from you, but we are looking into how passionate you are, right? You're not doing IT because your parents are forcing you to do. We want to make sure that you are not doing IT because that is one of the highly paid industry. We want to make sure that you're doing IT because that is in you, like it's in your genes, and that is what you really want to do. And that is maybe that is your hobby that you want to join and do a job. I mean, the good thing happened to you is if you have a hobby and if someone is paying for you, that's the ideal scenario. So we are basically looking for people with right attitude. Talking about attitude, I think I want to make this session more relevant to what we are currently going through as a country, as a world. You know that now we all know that we are fighting with the deadly virus, and the whole world is fighting with the deadly virus. But unfortunately, we are living with billions of people, those who are still looking for a normal life, right? I mean, life is not normal, to be honest. Like, every time when you hear the lockdown, people are complaining a lot. So this is also sort of attitude what we see but we don't want that kind of people, like those who are not accepting the reality, those who are living in a bubble, living in fantasy. I mean, during this session, I'll try to touch that as well. Like, you need to face the reality, you need to navigate through tough time, what sort of mindset that you really need to have. So to start with, I want to again emphasize this degree program, because I was in the industry for more than 2 decades. This is my 24th year in the industry. And we have been working with the universities closely. We have been influencing university curriculums from industry point of view. But if you take OUSL, this is far more special than what we were doing before, because we have been working, I think, almost 1 year together, OUSL and industry experts, to define a curriculum where you are not only learning theories, but also you are learning skills, hot skills, and also you are doing a lot of hands-on programming rather than listening to theories. So with that, I can actually start with something called something called illusion of competence, right? So when you are learning things, there's something called illusion of competence. If you relate to, your O levels and A levels, I think you have now practically know, it doesn't matter how many tuition classes that you go, how many hours that you are listening to great teachers. The Sri Lanka #1 can be kind of teachers. When you listen to them, you can understand it. But until you sit and do your homework, you don't realize whether you are in the illusion of competency. In Sinhala we call මායාවකද ඉන්නේ කියලා මට දන්නවා කියලා. Illusion of competency or not, that is something that you realize when you start doing things. It's like, watching cricket match. When you see that when Kusal Janit is playing, you can of course advise him what to do, but you have to go to the pitch with the bat and hit the ball to realize whether you can play cricket or not. Right? When you're watching it, you feel like, okay, even I can do this. When you listen to your lecturers, you realize, okay, I understood it, but as long as you're not doing something hands-on, you are not getting that competency. So this is true for in the education system. I don't want to complain a lot because I'm not sort of a person who is complaining, because I know that no critic has changed the world, but but when it comes to the education system, the issue what we have seen and what we want to fix is, you're not only going through a lot of theories, but while you are learning those theories, you should spend enough time hands-on, working and doing coding, writing, contributing to open source, having your own hacker rank, profile, solving challenges by yourself, writing some, side projects, whatever. So this program, the degree program that you're going to go through, for the first 2 semester, SLASSCOM industry and also USL lecturers, we together, the way that we have arranged this is that you have a lot of practicals and you have to do hands-on while learning. So the both are important, because if you're going to join the industry, you will be writing, world-class software, right? It's not only just the small software for a shop. It's about, if you take IT companies in Sri Lanka, they are even writing softwares for US Air Force. They are even writing software for the London Stock Exchange. You will be contributing to writing world-class software. So for that, you need to have fundamentals, right? That is what will be covered in the theory. But at the same time, you need to have hands-on. So to do that, the way that we have organized this, the curriculum is basically you will learn computational thinking, how you can communicate with the computer, how you can talk to the computer, how you can program. So those fundamentals that you will cover with the practicals. Then you will learn designing a database and how you can have APIs to connect to the database, how you can build a web solution, and how you can build a mobile solution. So basically, if you spend right amount of hours with the computer, again, I'm talking about, you have to spend right amount of time with the computer by your own. Of course, you will get the tutors. When it comes to tutors, there are a lot of industry volunteers join to support you, because we had a drive called Teach IT for Sri Lanka. A lot of volunteers came from the industry. Yes, this is a time to contribute to the country. So they will also join with you to guide you. But again, I'm repeating again and again, the skills that you need, you need to spend a lot of time with the computer. So from the tech stacks point of view, you will learn the database to be MySQL, and you will be developing web programs with maybe React.js, and you will be developing mobile application using React Native. So those kind of hot skills that you will learn during this, you have an opportunity to learn. Again, I'm calling it, you will have an opportunity to learn. It's all up to you how you are going to beat the competition. Right? So just want to emphasize, the number of hours you spend with the computer is so critical. And then another thing that I want to emphasize, this is about when you come to an interview, and there are ways that you get marks, right? Now I'm trying to actually relate this with the reality, because I also don't want to, go away from the reality. I know that, uh, if you take all undergraduates in Sri Lanka, they are from different family backgrounds. They are from different financial backgrounds. They might have, I mean, you might have different challenges than someone. But the brutal truth, I mean, this is the reality, right? We can't go away from the reality. The reality is, when it comes to the competition, the hardship that you are going through now doesn't matter. That is, I mean, unfortunately, that is the case. Of course, I think A level and the state university entrance is the last time that you get a chance for your hardship. That is why they have different cutoff marks for different districts, those who are less privileged. But after that, the challenges that you are having, the difficulties that you are having, unfortunately, no one will give extra marks for that. So if you are good in communication, you're good in communication. If you're bad in communication, you're bad in communication. So they will give the marks for your communication. They don't think about, this person is from a family where their parents are speaking English from the day one, and this person is from another family. I mean, this different family, that person haven't had that opportunity. Unfortunately, that is the truth. So I'm not talking about the reality when it comes to the competition. So if you even look at the Sri Lankan cricket team, the top 11 is top 11. I mean, it doesn't matter from where they are, right? So this is the reality that you will face. And it is unfortunate, I know. You can say it's not fair, but that's the real world. We need to face it. So the other thing that I want to really emphasize is, let's say, like, since I'm emphasizing number of hours that you should spend with the computer, okay, then you can ask, okay, I don't have a computer. So then the next opportunity is that you can go to OUSL labs, but then now you can argue like, it's a lockdown, I can't go to the open university labs. I mean, those are the sort of thing that you can keep arguing, but I want to tell you, you have to find a ways to how you can compete in the competition to become the cream of the industry, to get into the industry, right? So this is also something that I really wanted to emphasize in this short session from me. But when you go through, because as I said, like, I will not go into detailed technical things that you need to know. As I said, like, if you want to get into the industry, one thing that the industry has realized during last couple of years, I mean, 10 years ago, we were looking for graduates to join the industry because we thought they need to have a strong academic background. But now that perception has gone. And if you take what we believe in the industry is that for you to come into the industry, you don't need to be a graduate. But if you have right skills to right level, you can still enter the industry while learning. I mean, we have seen that is more successful than completing a full 4-year degree and trying to join the industry, because a lot of scholarship students, those who were with us, and internship students, they had a really fast career growth. And they are most of the time, I mean, I can remember that in my previous company, we had even vice presidents, those who started as interns and scholarship students, and they actually worked and learned together. So open university degrees, again, a really good opportunity for you, because it is facilitating for you to work, because most of the time the lecture times are flexible. You can go through recording, and the tutors will work with you during the evening and the weekend. So this is really good opportunity for you to, because the system is also supporting you to work while studying, because some of the degree programs are not really facilitating it. So what I want to tell you now is that you also need to have a mindset now in you to get right skill set. Again, I'm repeating, unfortunately, the hardship that you're going through to get there will not get extra marks. But you know that, I mean, you need to have, if you are in a difficult situation, then you need to anyway go through hardships, and those are the, you know, the nice memories that you will have one day. I can give you one good example. Like, I remember when my daughter was in grade 9, their maths teacher went on maternity leave, and my daughter was telling, like, you know, now we don't have a teacher, I might get low marks for maths. So what I told her, if you get low marks for maths, then you get low marks for maths. As simple as that. No one will care if you go to an interview and say that I am poor at maths because I haven't had a teacher in grade 9. I mean, that is not the world that you're going to face. The world is a bit tough, or more tough than what you think. So when you're going through this, since this is today, you are going through the counseling as well. So what I thought was I can actually share one aspect that I have seen in more successful people when they go through tough times. I agree, because I can't also hide from the fact that the country is also going through a tough time. Economy is crashing, people are dying, and you can't go out. There's a lockdown, and we need to respect. And financially, I think a lot of us are going through hard times. But if you want to navigate through these hard times, and if you are again from a background with less privilege, that you need to find your own answers rather than you don't have parents to, you know, throw money at anything. So then this is something that I practiced, and I have seen that a lot of people are practicing. So this is actually from a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I really recommend you to read if you can. It's from Stephen Covey. So one of the concept that he has introduced in this book is something called circle of concern versus circle of influence. So if you look at this, the whole circle, you can the big circle is all the colors that you have. It's raining, the weather, to the complaint about the government, whether you like the government or not, what they do, and your parents, and whether they help you or not, and maybe your relationships, your friends, and all these things. If you put into this circle, there are things that you can't control. I mean, this is coming in the, you know, the bigger circle. The things that you can't control, it could be weather, it could be your family background, it could be your financial situation. I mean, right now you might have things that you can keep complaining, or your teachers, your education system, or whatever. But the other circle next to it is this is also something, some concerns, but you can do something about it, but you can't control it fully 100%. But you have 40 to 60% influence that you can contribute, but still you are not in full control. And the circle, the middle circle is what you can do, right? So the most successful people are the ones who always focus on this smaller circle, where that you can change, and that you can take an action, you can do something so that you can get the result. So this is the circle actually I really want you to focus if you want to succeed, and if you really want to, especially during this the tough time. I mean, for an example, let's go to this laptop and the machine scenario. I know that since I was emphasizing you need to spend enough time with the computer hands-on, you might come and tell, like, I don't have a computer. So if, as I said, like, just I want to remind the first slide, if you don't have a computer, and then there is such, how you are going to compete with someone who is having a computer, who has access to the computer for 24 hours by 7 days. So then you are going to compete with that person. So you can keep complaining, I don't have a computer. That is why it happened to me. But again, the reality is, when you go to the competition is competition. You don't get a label saying that I didn't have a computer, so then you don't get extra marks for this. So then how you can actually solve it? Okay, OUSL labs, you can go, but still it is limited hours. You have still competing with someone who is having a computer. At the same time, of course, if you can't buy a laptop, and then what you can do, like, I don't want to give you solution. You need to find the solution by yourself. You can go for second hand, you can go for desktop, you can go for second hand desktop, maybe a lower configuration. Still, it might work rather than saying, I don't have a computer, I'm connecting from a phone. The same goes to communication kind of thing. You can keep complaining. I mean, because I'm not from a family where that they speak in English. I'm from a rural area, but still, you can learn things, right? I mean, that means that you need to spend more time the learning to catch up with the others. So, I mean, these are the things that you need to do to win in the competition. The reason for showing this is, I mean, this will help you to find solution during this tough time, and I think this will definitely help you to find solution during the counseling when you talk about your problems, because industry, if you take industry, during the interviews, the one thing that we are looking for is whether you are a problem oriented person or a solution oriented, because problem-oriented people are always complaining. They want to change the world, to the government, to the parents, to the system, but they're not coming up with a solution. So basically, be someone and try to be someone who is always coming up with a solution. And when you come up with solution, I mean, that is the right attitude that we have. So what I wanted to tell you, I mean, this is what we expect from the industry. These are the skills and also the behaviors that we are expecting. This is something that you can train from day one, even from today, like, when you even talk about the challenges and problems that you have with the university. So think about what you can do to fix it. Yeah, so this is basically all from me, Dr. Mangala Perera. If you have anything to add, Dr. Mangala Perera.
Now, guys, I'm sure that you got what Mangala is trying to say. It's not a matter of, now you are doing this degree because you wanted to get a job at the end, right? And the jobs are there. Even right now, I know that the industry is looking for people. And the same problem is there. Mangala, how many applications did you get for your advertisement?
For which one?
No. You recently advertised for people, no?
Yeah. So basically, we are getting like, it can even hit 1,000 sometimes.
Exactly.
Then we filter the CVs. So basically, exactly, if you want to hire 10, we will get 1,000, closer to 1,000 CVs. Then we interview 100 and then we hire 10. So this is the hit rate. Even though we have opportunities, this is the hit rate. That is the competition that you're going to face.
That is what we are saying. The company wants to hire 10 people. When they advertise, they get 1,000 applications. That means there are 1,000 people who are looking for jobs, who are in the IT field, right? And they are not the right caliber of people the industry is looking for. So our target is to make almost all of you, when you go for an interview, the industry feels, right, he is the right guy. Let me recruit him. We want to do that, but we can't do it on our own. We can give you as many classes as you want, but still you are not going to achieve that. It has to come from you. Now, Mangala explained to you what kind of attributes, what kind of characteristics, behavior that you have to have. That's only you can work out, right? So from now on, start preparing and learning these things. And we have included it in our curriculum also. But unfortunately, however much we work, there are people who are not interested. You think that, okay, I want to come to a lecture, I want to come to a class, and I want to sit down and write down whatever the thing that the lecturer teaches. That is not going to get you a proper job. Industry is looking for different type of people. So I'm really happy that we have got about 490 people here, and you will follow this. And if you need any help in achieving whatever the industry is expecting, we are here to help. Industry is willing to help. They have got people lined up who are willing to mentor you. The help is there, but you have to take the ownership. That's all I want to say, Thank you, Mangala. So I
Thank
think
you,
we
Dr.
can.
Madhura. But then I can also tell one sentence before I finish. They're saying called it's too late to prepare when opportunity comes, right? So don't wait for the opportunity. Prepare from today.
Do two sessions.